Good evening, well, afternoon actually, guys. It is Sunday. I had really not had any intentions of doing any videos. I did one yesterday, and I did one Friday up at the forest, did a live feed, but didn't really have any intention of it. But since, my daughter's doing her stretching and my wife is doing dishes and I'm bored, I thought I would do a video. So, let me close this. Let me close this. Huh? My wife's doing dishes. So, hang on a second. Give me just a second, guys. I am going to pause, guys. I realized that I had left the item that we were going to talk about on the counter. So, I'm out here in the yard. Like I said, I have a customer coming soon. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to pause this video, midway, because I have a customer bringing me a straight razor. For those of you who don't know, I know a lot of you guys saw the video that Bird put up. Not only do I sharpen all of the knives for Fair and Forge that are coming up, this next batch and all that stuff, there is also a little partnership I have with every Art of Shaving in San Diego. And that means all of them. I have all of the Art of Shaving stores in San Diego have my business cards, and if you buy a straight razor at an Art of Shaving in San Diego, you get one of my business cards. For razor honing, they basically give them out. I've given them 1,000 business cards. I think I have to give them some more. I got to talk to Anthony up there. But that's just one of the things. That's a local thing, I know that I asked him, I was like, you got a guy that sharpens y'all straight razors? And the guy at the one Art of Shaving was like, no, we get those questions a lot. And there was a guy here in town that did it, but no one was happy with the service and stuff like that. So I gave him those cards. But that's not what this is about. I do definitely have to. I talk to Frankie and Bird a lot, and I really do enjoy the friendship we fostered, and I can't thank them enough for the videos that they put out. That video about me pimping knives, calling me a whore, that was pretty funny. I didn't want a glass of ice water. I'll explain this in a minute. But we're going to talk about, now 1 minute and 40 seconds into the video, we're fine, well actually closer to 3 minutes because the other portion. What we're going to talk about today is this. And the reason I brought up Bird is I got this from Bird. He sent it to me. I'm going to send it back even though he says he doesn't want it. Because I don't want it. Maybe I'll send it off to somebody else to review. Send it to Jim Skelton and let him do a scathing review of it. But what this is that this is that Lansky sharpeners. World legal. It is the World Legal Urban Tactical by Williamson. Now, I saw the video that did about it, and it didn't look too bad in the video, and then I got it, and I want you guys to keep in mind the size hands I have. Allow me to grab this beer. This is a beer for reference. Now, this is a skinny, this is a Stella can, so it's a little bit smaller, but this is a frickin' brick. There's not much good to really say about this Williamson. Now, I got a hair hanging down. It's bothering me. The design, the blade design, is kind of interesting. I could see where they were going. This knife can be sold anywhere. Pretty much, there is no way that this is going to fall into Canada's changed some of their laws. There's no way this is going to fall into their flipper category because there is no way that you are going to flip. It's 100% two-hand opener. But the problem I've got is just the raw size of it. It is, we're going to do something out of character for me. We're going to actually get some dimensions. I don't have a scale, but it is at its widest right at little over 2 inches wide. It looks like it is 2 1/16. 2 1/16 inch wide. The blade, the blade itself at the base is 1.5 inches wide. The blade itself, 1.5 inches wide. For a looks like 2 and 3/4, a little under 2 3/4 inch blade. Blade stock on it, since we're doing it, may as well. I'll tell you what it is. Blade stock on it is right at 1/8. It's like 1/8 of an inch. Now I would say that that gives them the perfect opportunity with such a wide blade to have a very shallow grind that gives you a really thin edge behind your sharpening bevel. But that's not what they did here. It's not at all what they did. If you see, they did a saber style grind, and it is really, really thick behind the edge. And for a company named Lansky Sharpeners, it is very off-center ground. It is definitely left-hand biased. Now, when you say right and left-hand biased, for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, so a neutral edge goes right down the middle. A neutral edge goes down the middle. A right-hand bias is going to be off this direction, where you have almost a chisel with this direction, or I'm sorry, the other way, where you're going to have more material taken off, and a person that's left-handed. My friend Matt has noticed that he's left-handed, and his knives cut a little better right-handed than they do left-handed. I've addressed that for his knives. Just instinctively, a right-handed person that's sharpening freehand is going to have a bit of a right-hand bias. But now that I know, I can address that. Now, this has been going on long enough. This was ice water that I put in this thermal mug because it will keep beer cold for a very long time. But if my wife had just washed it and it just came out of the hot water, so I put ice water in it. So now, inside of my cup is nice and cold, and I can put this cold beer in it. But the bias, you got the bias on that. Now, I will tell you, it's not a bad blade design. We'll pull it back up and look at it here in a second. I'm not going to bother doing the turn it around and look at pictures and, you know, the video that way, because it's not worth it. It's not worth that much of my time. That's where we're at with this. So I'll bring it into frame here. It does have some redeeming qualities. It's got a fairly decent pocket clip. It's not too uncomfortable. If you got big hands like me, it does fit in your hand really well. It's got a forward thumb choil or thumb ramp, if you want to look at it. It's a massive nail nick in it. Those are some good qualities. It does have, you know, the back spacer is somewhat of a window breaker, or if you wanted to look at it this way, if you were in a fight and you did not want to cut someone, if you can get your hand all the way around it, you could bash them in the side of the head with that. It's an effective tool. Handles are just straight plastic. They feel pretty cheap plastic, but I mean, this was not an expensive knife. If you watch Bird's video, I think they paid like $12 for it, something like that. Like, it was definitely under 30. It was definitely in the under 30 category. So give me a second, guys. I'm pretty sure I had a customer just pull up. Let me pause this and make sure. I did. My customer actually just left. He dropped off straight razor for me. But no, I mean, that knife is in the $30 category. So I mean, saying that it's got like hard plastic, you know, the crappy plastic handles, you're getting a $30 knife. Now, they list this as a tactical knife, which I'm gonna go on a tirade here. Get myself ready. Nick Shabazz talked about it. Nick and I talked about it when I did a Instagram live feed, or Nick did an Instagram live feed and I joined in on it. The whole idea of tactical folding knives is an archaic thing that basically it's what built a good chunk of the industry, but there's no need for it anymore. Most people are not carrying a tactical knife. Most people that would carry a knife are guys that would carry something because it's something that looks cool and with no actual need or use for a tactical knife. Now, I carried knives when I was in the military, folding knives that would have felt into the tactical category, but I carried those because they were reliable, they were well built, they were stronger, but they weren't necessarily like combat folding knives. Because I got news for you: anybody that knows anything about military guys knows they would not want a folding knife. They're not going to, for two reasons. They're not going to risk their life on a knife that might fail, and two, it's one additional step. Opening a knife is one additional step for a knife that may break or things like that. a fixed blade knife is always going to be something that they would prefer. Easier, quicker, reliable, not going to close on their fingers. So that's just the thing. Most people these days are, and there's a video coming about this one, are looking for something more along these lines. Like a thin gentleman's folder that they could use for opening packages, opening their mail. That's what people need. Not something that's listed as a tactical knife. When I say that this should not fall into that tactical category, this is why. Because that's what I want to have to do when I need a knife right now. Now, blade shape on this is going to make it difficult for a lot of people to sharpen. It's got kind of a flat and then a belly and then a hook bill. It's a monstrosity. It's got such a curvature to it. It is huge. It looks like it was the handle. It looks like it was made out of rock. That's what it looks like. It looks like something you would knap out of flint and then have a knife that, because you're going to have to keep napping that edge off every time you use it. And it's just so difficult. I've carried it a couple times. If you put it in your pocket, you can't put anything else in that pocket that you would need because it's in the way. The pocket clip actually does a pretty good job. It is held on, however, by a flathead screw. Everything about it screams swap meet, crappy, not real great quality knife. I don't know. I mean, the only allure that this knife has to it is that it is available, and you could pretty much carry this worldwide. But you know what else you could carry worldwide? One of those Viper neck knives that I make. Because it's a small blade, it's a small knife, it's fixed blade, it doesn't fold, and it's not something that would be considered, it's inside those limits of anything that would be world legal. It's not meant to be a weapon. And that's where this fails, is it pretty much has got itself in that category of knives where people think of them as weapons. Because it looks aggressive and it looks mean and things like that. Even though we all know, Jesus, I can't even get the fucking thing open. Even though we know, you guys that have been here with me for a while, we've talked about it, we know knives are not weapons, they're tools. Even with that said, this looks menacing and large and it's aggressive. This is a large knife, but it doesn't look near as menacing and aggressive. I got news for you. I could do much more damage with this knife than I could with that brick. So no, that's it. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to do it to get it out, and I want to send it back to Bird, even though he says he doesn't want it. I want to send it back to him because, and when I send it to him, I'm going to send him these. I had someone send me Edge Pro tapes. I've used one. I used one on, and I tried to do it freehand, and I cut into it, and then had to resharpen the knife because I cut down into the aluminum and rolled the edge a little bit. I'm going to send these to Bird to see if these will work on his KME. Just to see. So that's it. If you guys have not subscribed to Bird's channel, please do so. The thing is, my hardcore core group of subscribers, 90% of you guys are already subscribed to Bird's channel. I have a knife that's going up for giveaway. I have that little Gonzo with the orange handles that you guys saw. We are in the process of heavily modifying that. I just did the pocket clip gold. It's a steel pocket clip. I coated it with ceramic and it looks gold. I coated the blade black, and we are going to do the handles with a carbon fiber dip that Nico does up at K2 Graphics. K2 Graphics, those guys do amazing. Nico and his dad and his brother, I think there's 4 people there, do an amazing job on anything I've seen them do. So if that's something you need, if you need something dipped, get in touch with me. I'll get you in touch with Nico, and he'll get him and his dad to do it, or they can put you in touch with people that they have trained for the same process. So, all right, guys, that's it. I just wanted to get this video done and out the door, mainly because I'm bored. I got run out of the house. I can't watch TV in the living room because my daughter's skating, or not skating. She's stretching because she stretches, and then I lose the TV because she's watching YouTube while she's doing that. And then I was going to go in the kitchen and do it, but my wife had a friend coming over, and I was like, You know what? Screw it. I'll just go outside and do a video and drink a beer. Sorry. All right, guys. I appreciate everything. I got a bunch of additional subscribers when Bird did that video. So if you're just joining, this is how I do my videos. I mean, this is it. This is the way I do stuff. Bird did say that my videos are different. So, but like I said, Bird's channel, my channel, Patreon will be down here somewhere. And probably a video that says, you know, a spot that's a video that YouTube picks that meets your search history. So, all right, guys, that's it. Take it easy. I will talk to you all next time. Later.